Right. Hello, all you hardcores out there. How are you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner, biggest gob in sport. 2 seconds, I'm just shut with it. Today I'm joined by my good pal Rich. Rotherham lad. How you doing, kid?
Well, mate, how's it going?
All right. Did you watch boxing at weekend?
I did, yeah. I watched Marshall and I watched a couple of others. Yeah, enjoyed it.
What did you think to Savannah's performance?
I thought it were really good. I thought, given circumstances, after a loss and after a lot of criticism, I thought she'd come back. It looked like she followed Peter's game plan, their game plan, and she did a job on it. She won by at least 4 or 5 rounds in my book. So yeah, I thought she did brilliant. And I don't watch a lot of women's boxing. I only watch it when it's at that level.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I don't like it. It's not really good. But I like it at that level, and she did really well. I was proud of her.
Do you think that the other girl was tough because she gave Shields on her debut? She had a debut against Shields, and she gave her nightmares, didn't she? Do you think she was tougher than what people give her credit for?
She were tough because Savannah can punch.
Yeah.
She's a big old girl, isn't she? Savannah, tall, rangy.
Yeah.
Got that sort of lanky power, you know, like for a lady, that is, for a woman. So yeah, but I thought that she is tough. Cruz, she is tough, but I've seen a lot of chatter on social media about sort of Savannah's performance, and I'm like baffled. So I'm thinking, I've listened to Julian as well, and I've seen your podcast with him. And I text Julian a little bit back and forth on Saturday when we were watching it, and he was talking about footwork, and we were chatting back and forth. And then after the fight, I'm thinking everybody's slating her off. Everybody's slagging her off here. What's going on? She's done what she had to do. They're talking about how close it were. Maybe it were a draw. It was closer to a draw than being so wide apart. And I'm thinking, hold on, what's happened? What's happened to criticising Cruz here? She were the undisputed super middleweight champion, weren't she? She's come over to Savannah's backyard. She's got to make sure that she's not getting her own time decision, hasn't she?
Oh, when the belt's vacant.
Well, exactly right. Unbelievable, isn't it?
I don't know if they were vacant. I think they were vacant, the belts.
No,
she came over, didn't you?
No, she got belts.
Did she have belts?
Yeah,
right.
She's undisputed champion.
Oh.
So why aren't they going on about her performance?
I don't know, mate. It's all a bit mad, isn't it?
Yeah. They're talking about footwork. Did you see her cross her right hand? Cross her right leg over when she was throwing her right hand? Slapping her in the face, pushing her off like that with a palm like that every chance she got. Unbelievable. Believe me.
Yeah, she was champion. I missed that. I thought they were vacant. Well, she's done it. Savannah's done it in 64 rounds, 2-weight champion and undisputed in 64 rounds, whereas Opie Price has had 64 rounds and he's an English champion.
Yeah, it's a different kettle of fish. At the end of the day, how many more male boxers are there knocking about than female boxers? If there's less people in pool, they're going to meet each other more often, aren't they? There's going to be more chance and more opportunity for them. That's how it is until it grows. That's not their fault, is it?
No, but she won, and isn't that the main thing?
Of course, it's the main thing. Like I said, I've seen loads of crap on social media. You know, it with this, it with that, it with the other. You know, not a very good performance from Peter or from Savannah. Nobody's mentioned Sugar Hill, have they?
Sugar Hill's trainer for Franchon Cruz, and he trains obviously Tyson Fury as well, doesn't he? So there'd have been a bit of needle anyway, wouldn't there? There.
Yeah, maybe. But my point is, and I'm not slating Sugar Hill here. All I'm saying is, why hasn't anybody mentioned his performance, his coaching? Why hasn't anybody mentioned her performance? As like I said, she is or was the undisputed champion. Yeah, so all criticism has been levelled against Savannah. After the fight, all commentary, oh, you know, it was closer than it seemed, and it weren't that good a performance. She's won.
She won comfortably, didn't she?
Yeah, 4 or 5 rounds, in my opinion.
I did 7 or 8.
Well, you might be right, or it's my. All I'm saying is my opinion. I looked at it first round. I was a bit nervous. Yeah. I thought, oh, you know, she's a strong girl. This Cruz. She's strong. She's pretty tough. She's built like a bulldog, isn't she? You know, chubby bulldog.
You wouldn't want to take her out on a date, would you?
You'd have to pay, wouldn't you? But point is, After the first round, I thought, oh, could be a bit tough this one tonight. Then from then on, second round, I'm not sure, 50-50. And then from then on, I sort of got a bit relieved. Middle of the fight, she controlled. Round 9, she dominated. She threw cleaner punches. I sounded as though I'm just repeating what Julian
No,
said.
they were cleaner punches though, weren't they?
Yeah.
Hers were cupping shots, weren't they, with sides of her hands?
Yeah, with palms, yeah.
With palms.
And when you've got that height disadvantage, and you are going to be spoiling, because that's what you're trying to do, spoiling. Why are you spoiling when you're champion?
Yeah.
When you get inside, like I said, I'm not an expert.
And you're away from
Just a
home.
fan. You're away from home. So when you're in and you're pulling somebody in, you're going to try and make room for yourself if you can. And throw to the body, she weren't doing any of that. At odd times she drew to the body. She weren't, in my opinion, maybe she's better than she looked on the night, but that's due to Savannah.
Do you think it reminded you when at the end Shields saying she had it a draw, Johnny Nelson had it a draw, whatever, but it reminded me of Paul Smith, Arthur Abraham, when Paul Smith was screaming robbery and Joe G said, I had it a draw. Well, when you're saying you had it a draw with your fighter, it really means we got done, doesn't it?
Yeah, often it does. It's hard to be. It's hard to be objective when you've got some skin in the game, isn't it? We all, I suppose if it'd have been the other way around, if it had been that close, I probably, because I wanted a British person to win, I would have probably been a bit biased. Unconscious bias is just one of them things we all suffer from. But saying that, when some people were moaning about Shields and Savannah first time round, I didn't think Savannah won that fight. I thought that Clarissa Shields won that fight by about 5 rounds, in my opinion. But it's a different fight, different time. She clearly wins. She needs a props.
Yeah. What day is it today?
It's Monday all day.
Yeah. So what? This is going to make you.
Well,
is it all day?
Mate, remember, I would have been a bit earlier today. I realised we watched for an hour forward from Germany.
You know, I did the other day. I put a kettle in the fridge. Meg used to, Daddy, why have you put a kettle in the fridge? I went, what? Oh, God. Oh, losing it, man.
Makes a change from old days, doesn't
it? Tasha Jonas, 2-weight world champion as well. Now she beat that Candy Wyatt. She's flying, isn't she, Jonas?
Great performance as well, that wasn't it?
What a lovely little style for a southpaw.
Absolutely great performance. Good attitude.
Her and Joe G have done really well, haven't they?
Yeah, brilliant performance.
Joe D, well done. I know you're basking in the glory this week, Joe, but he's done really well. And she's done well. She's got all the ingredients to have a full media career now. She's coming up to a 40th, isn't she? She's done really, really well.
Speaks very well, confident, down to earth, typical Rotherham lass. Oh, she's not Rotherham.
She's a character, isn't she? Opie Price, he did well. He's 11-0 English champion, age 23. He's got the world at his feet now, hasn't he?
Yeah, didn't catch the fight though, mate. So I can't comment on it. So
I think he's got all dead on young shoulders, him. I've been critical of Dave Caldwell because he's always had people dunked on him and he hasn't really been his own man, has he, kind of thing. He's got people because he's mates with Eddie, hasn't he?
I saw Dave Caldwell comments on it before fight, and he was saying that this was his coming out fight, and he was showing logic. So I'm sorry I didn't see it fight.
Yeah,
but he did, to be fair, like you said to Caldwell, he did predict it. He did say there's right things for him. He did say
he's all right.
him to do it.
I'll give him stick. I'll give you a stick, Dave Caldwell. You know why? But he's doing well for that kid here, and he will be judged what he does with Opie Price now, really, because he didn't have Bellew, Davey Price, Chisora, all them from the beginning, did he? And he had like Daniel Thorpe and them, journeyman back in the day. So for him to have his own little rough diamond, he can be judged now in another couple of years what he does with that kid, can't he, really?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, I think he can't take away that he's got a lot of boxing knowledge because he's come through ranks, and he's be a fighter for a little bit.
Yeah, so I kind of like Opie Price now. I like his style. I think he's got a good little style. He's starting to come out now. So Dalton Smith, we saw what he did to Sam Maxwell. Though he started out with Chris Smedley, Dalton Smith. He looks really good, doesn't he? I'd like to see him and O'Hara down the line. Personally, I said I paid 20 quid for it and I got rinsed. But for me, I think O'Hara and Dalton Smith is a 20 quid fight down the line, you know, pay-per-view. It can be built up into something special.
Yeah, I think so. It's going to be that line though, because he's number one, isn't he? Now, Davis.
Yeah, Davis is number one.
So
Right.
he's going to probably follow.
Dalton's a bit behind him. He's going to be chasing him down, isn't it? So if O'Hara veers off or has a defeat or, you know, gets a little bit older, I think they might meet down the line. I think it, you know what I mean, kind of thing.
Yeah, I think it's possible.
I think that's a good fight. I like Dalton Smith. I like his style. But I did say other day in the video that he's not well known, is he? He's not. You don't see him all out there. He's one of them quiet ones, isn't he? Yeah. Kind of thing. The heavyweights, Dylan White signed for AJ. I've had a bit of stick because I put something out about Huey being in talks with AJ, which, you know, there has been talks. Would I like to see Huey down the line? Yeah, and AJ. Who would you see winning in Huey and AJ before?
Well, I've got a lot of stick for this before, like a year ago, I think. I was talking about Huey being number 4 or 5 in world at the time. That looks a bit more realistic now. AJ's had a couple of losses and he's got found out and blah blah blah. And it might, and it's only because Huey has been ill and out at sea that he's not had a chance to prove that he's better than he's been perceived before. So again, what do I know? But my opinion is Huey does him. Yeah. And I think Huey would have done him before he lost. Yeah, that's my opinion. For the same reasons they do him now.
And what did we say about Klitschko and Tyson? That Tyson had run rings around Klitschko. His style of frustrating, didn't it? It's about getting the win, isn't it?
It's about getting. Of course, it's about getting the win. There's no prizes for second place or looking good, is there? Plenty of people have looked good and being found out. Look how good Naz looked for a lot of years, and deservedly so. He was the best in the world at featherweight for a long time. Yeah. But it caught up with him, didn't it? Hans got injured. He met his match and he got found out. So there's no use looking good and finishing second, is there?
No. I'm going to ask you a few questions now about Huey and AJ. Right? Who's got best footwork? No, I'm just asking that. Yeah, Huey, innit?
It's Huey, innit?
Movement. Huey. Who's got most miles on clock?
AJ.
There you go. Who's older by 5 years?
AJ.
Only thing AJ's got on him is punching power. But has he? Has he? Can you let his hands go, AJ?
Well, is he stronger than Huey? I would guess.
You would say if you put him in gym and who can lift the most?
I would guess so. I would guess so, just how they look. But you never know, because it's not always about that. If you look at Magnus Magnuson, one of the strongest human beings that's ever lived, he didn't have any muscle on him. He went a bodybuilder.
Jeff Capes didn't he? He was the strongest man at world. Capesy.
There you go.
I were at an event once and Capesy crushed a big chair.
So, I would guess that he is stronger than him, but it's not about muscles, is it? And you know the old saying, don't you?
Can't put muscles on chin.
There you go.
And Joshua, mentally at the moment, is frightened of his own shadow. He's been down several times, hasn't he, as a boxer? How many times has Huey been down as a pro?
I don't think any, has he? Zero.
Zero. Because they can't nail him, can they?
I don't know anything.
Not been down as a professional.
I don't even know if he's been down in sparring or anything like that. I don't know. I don't even say anything. I'm just saying I don't know that. So, but you get to hear things sometimes, don't you? Yeah. I've not heard anything about that. So,
well, he's not been down as a pro anyway. So, but getting back to Joshua,
just on the right hand though.
Yeah.
What is it about it? Because he's almost like Eric Bristow, isn't he?
Joshua
can't let go. Just can't let
Vladimir go. Against Tyson Fury couldn't let go, could he? Do you know why? Because something kept coming back, didn't it?
Exactly right.
And I think he'd have the what do they call it? Dartitis. Yeah. Well, snooker players go it as well, don't they?
Yeah, they call it hips, don't they?
Yeah. Well, I think it'd be Dartitis for Joshua against Huey. Because it'd be frustrating when you're hitting fresh air and this and that, and then you're being tied up and messed about. It's all within the rules. It's called the sweet science. You get in, do your work, get out. The secret is not to get hit. Tyson's made a career out of it.
Yeah, that's
so his legs went.
It's called boxing, isn't it?
And I think Anthony Joshua knows it'd be a hard night for him against Huey.
Same size, aren't they? As regards
same height.
6'6".
Probably Huey's 19 stone. He'd probably come in about 18 for him.
Yeah, they probably walking about
same. But they look different physiques and that. But you'd say Huey's more flexible in ring, wouldn't you?
Yeah, they do look different and they have got different physiques. But if they've both got 2 coats on, they'd look exactly. You know what I mean? The big lumps, aren't they? Both of them. There's nothing.
If they were both stood on a door and they said, "Sup up, lads," you'd sup up, wouldn't you?
You'd be off, wouldn't
There you go. Dylan White though against AJ. Are they going to take that fight this year, or are they just going to wait for Saudi money?
Did you say he signed?
He's supposed to have signed yesterday, just before I put that video, but I'm only putting the video on what I've been told, what I've heard, like so.
Well, you can be in talks to more than one person, can't you?
Of course you can, yeah. Of course you can, yeah.
I think that probably AJ knows he needs another fight. He does, and he probably thinks.
Probably needs one to shake rust off, don't he?
Yeah, I think so. I think AJ probably thinks on Dylan White's last two performances, Franklin and Fury. You can't take anything from that because he was always going to get battered by Fury. With that, we're going to go out. We're going to go, weren't it?
Yeah.
I don't think we saw uppercut coming, but
no.
he were going to get battered, weren't he? But against Franklin, he looked like he were on the slide, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then you're in all about the gym rumours. You're on about people touching him up in gym, sparring. You know, he's in gym wars all the time.
Gym wars. Listen, let me tell you this. Do you remember the Usyk camp, right? The first camp. And they had Joshua and all these other people around, these new people, and McCracken and all this. And I were hearing things about novice pros sparring Joshua. And I mean novice guys in for Joshua. And we're fighting Alexander Usyk. And the sparring that he got in for both camps were abysmal. Now, I've heard a little story that the reason why they had these sparring partners that weren't up to much were because, you know, the normal guys that they use, you know, your top 15 guys, top 20 guys and all that, were turning him on his head. So they did it to protect him. Now, he's out there in Dallas. Nobody's mentioned who he's sparring, Eddie, or anything like that. And is he that fragile now? He's like Humpty Dumpty. He's all broken into little pieces. And this Derek James guy's got to put him all back together again. But is he going to be held together by no more nails or Bostic?
Well, I think, like I was saying, I think the reason he consider White is because he thinks he's on slide as well. So
he probably is.
Fancy it. They both fancy it for that reason.
Am I out of order because I've been abused so bad over this? But I've said they're both gatekeepers. Is that a bad thing to say?
No. Listen, they're not necessarily bad fighters overnight, but we're not talking 5 and 6 years ago now when they were coming.
This is why I keep saying, they keep going on about you, he shouldn't be mixed with him and all that. Whoa, hang on a minute. Stop thinking about the Joshua that did Gary Cornish.
The Scottish
Stop
champion.
it!
The Scottish champion.
Stop it! You upset Billy Nelson. Would you like to see him in with Bacoli? Because he don't get a mention. He's like the Louis Ortiz of the heavyweight division, isn't he, Bacoli?
Yeah, I'd like to see Bacoli in some meaningful fights, but he don't draw flies to kite, does he? You know what I mean? So he's not going to get any.
He can fight though.
Of course he can fight, but he's not.
Dave Allen says his skills are extraordinary.
Dave Allen's never used the word extraordinary in his life.
He always
know and I know.
He always goes on about his skills, something like that. He always brings him up though.
Extraordinary's never come out of Dave Allen's mouth.
Skills are extraordinary. We got that off Enter the Dragon. Well, Dave Allen thinks his skill sets. He's the best guy he's ever sparred.
Well, yeah, he knows what he's talking about. He's sparred everybody, hasn't he?
Is Bacoli that good?
Is Bacoli better than Usyk? Because Usyk knocked Dave Allen.
I know, yeah.
Swore it, didn't it? We had gone.
Only did be Tony Yoka, gold medal Olympian.
Yeah.
Put him in his top pocket.
Yeah. Well, you know, we'll see. We'll see.
Would you like to see Dave Allen fight Bacoli?
Listen, you know this.
We want to see Dave Allen in just a fight.
I don't want to see Dave Allen fight again.
Don't you?
You know, I said that to you the other day.
It's Operation White Rhino 72.8.
Well, I don't want to see him fight.
Dave Allen, retire.
Dave Allen, we love you to bits. You made us all laugh 5, 6 years ago. Brave as
Dave's not laughing now, though, is he?
Game as a pebble, a top bloke, and I hope you've made millions out of it. But I don't want to see you fight again, mate.
Dave's not laughing now, are you, Dave, on a Dennis ticket deal? Deontay Wilder has offered Andy Ruiz 70%, Richard. Everybody's offering 70%, so since when have fighters been promoters?
Again, well, we're getting back to this same old. I'm not interested until it's signed. I'm just not interested until it's signed. If Deontay Wilder didn't want to fight, don't fight. Andrew Ruiz will get a fight. He's a bit of a bogey man now because of what he did to Joshua. He's got fast hands and he's got a good chin. So he's always going to be avoided. And that's one way to avoid him, isn't it? If you want to fight, fight. If you don't, just tell me when it's on, I'll tune in.
What did you think to Josh Taylor's performance against
a couple of weeks ago? Yeah, a couple of weeks ago. I thought it was.
You think it showed that he'd been inactive? Did his tools weren't sharp?
I think he's had his time. I think that was his performance when I think Cattrall obviously showed him for what he was as regards, you know, I think the fight when he won the Undisputed, I think that was his best performance. It was an unbelievable performance. It probably took about as much out of him as it did the other fella, and that's probably his peak. There's nothing wrong with, you know, being. At the end of the day, he's going to go down in the record books as being undisputed, and that's a great achievement. So he just might be on the slide with it.
Yeah, it's a shame, isn't it? For that. Do you think Anthony Yard and Callum Smith will fight if Viterbo does Smith?
I think Smith will probably avoid Yard.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah, I think I'm a fan of Yard's. I think that
he's a tough kid. Hey, listen, that lad, Anthony Yard, I don't know if many people know. I think he lost his granddad and his mum or his dad. I might have that wrong.
No, you got it right.
He's had a lot on his plate, and he's been in with Kovalev and who's the other one he went in? Viterbo, hasn't he? Was it Viterbo? No, who do you know who's been in with him? Been in with two killers, hasn't he?
Yeah,
Kovalev and Viterbo, wasn't it?
Yeah, and also he had
Lyndon Harper
twice.
So, yeah, and
they were
good tough fights.
Two tough fights and a good rematch victory overall.
Yeah.
You don't usually win a rematch, do you? Not many.
No, if you've lost.
Not many.
And he's done everything what he's said to do. Obviously, he skipped the domestic belts, which I've been critical of.
Yeah.
But he's actually come through to the end and proved that he belongs in top 10, hasn't he, really?
Yeah, I like him. But that's a division that's stacked, isn't it?
That division's stacked, and I think it don't get as much media attention as the heavyweights, but a lot of them in that division are swerving them. But he's took on the two big dogs over the last 10 years in that division, and the two big hitters as regards them.
I like him.
So you don't think Smith will be queuing up to fight him then?
No, I think he's got a style. I think styles make you fight. It's that cliche can you get? But and Smith has got that boxer long range, a lot of skills. But I also think that Yard is a tough, strong, same sort of fighter, not as skillful as Alvarez, but in that same mould. So I don't think it's a style that suits Smith. That's what I'm saying. So.
Do you think Smith's got a chance though against B2B or Viterbo, whatever you want to pronounce it?
Yeah, I don't think Smith's a bad fighter. I think he's a really, really good fighter. So I think he has got a chance, but I think it's more 60-40 than the other way around.
Yeah, do you think Smith's been protected over the years?
No, I think that for whatever reason he's chosen to be inactive. So I don't, and he's quiet. So I'm not saying he's going out partying and he's in bother and all that.
He doesn't strike me as that type of lad.
No, he don't. No, family don't really. But well,
Paul Smith likes the kebab and a pint. Don't even know about that. Smig.
But
AKA Jim Royal.
For whatever reason. He's just not. He's not big. So I don't know whether it's injuries or what, but he just doesn't fight a lot, does he?
Big John Fury, aka Tarzan. He's had plenty to say in the last few weeks. He's been on Mike Tyson's podcast.
No, I've not seen it. I've heard so. Yeah.
In Saudi, it's the only place they can meet because Mike's not allowed in UK, is it? Because he's got convictions for rape. But John can't go over there because he's got a Section 18 on his record, a man's eye. So they've had to meet in Saudi. But do you ever see John in an exhibition fight with somebody like that? Could you see him pulling that off? Because he's angling for it, isn't he? I'm hearing back.
I suppose it's what. Is there some novelty value in it in regards?
Well, people want to see him go, but I didn't, wouldn't they? If they give him £1 million, we paid to see him forward.
I think
pop bang.
I think that maybe he could draw enough interest in it just off being back at Tyson Fury's dad, couldn't it? So it could, but that's all. If you're a 12 and 3 journeyman, and he wanted to fight Tyson in a normal circumstance. Tyson would be saying, "What have you got to bring to the party?" So he's got some notoriety, he's got some fame off the back of Tyson, and so he might pull in a fuse in. Who knows? Would I watch it? I'm not sure.
Right, which brings me to what we've been hearing in the last 12 hours. The game changer that Bricktop's on about, it's not Usyk. Now, I said if it's Usyk, that's the game changer. It was 2003, the last time we've had an undisputed, which was Lennox Lewis. So we're 20 plus years now, aren't we? We've been screaming for this. It seems like a lifetime, doesn't it? We're finally here. Usyk's got 5 of the belts. Tyson Fury's got 1. Let's put all 6 together and have 1 man. And then you can do what you want with belts. Put them on eBay for forever. Whatever you want to do for me. But it looks like the game changer that Bricktop's talking about ain't just an exhibition against Ngannou. It's a 2-discipline exhibition. They're going to have the boxing one and the UFC one, which is it's going to be 1-1, isn't it? And so what are we going to learn from this? And is this the right preparation for Alexander Usyk?
I don't know which question to ask first, but first of all, it's going to be 1-1, definitely.
Yeah.
Right. You can write the story now, can't you?
Yeah.
You can write it.
What do you mean? They're leading up to it in fight week, tables flipping, and Big John Fury leading the crowd in his Gypsy King t-shirt and hat.
There'll be all that, won't there? There'll be all that. Yeah. But you can write the script. Which discipline's going to be first? It's going to be boxing, isn't it?
And it might never happen, UFC one.
It might never happen, but if it does,
I would say it wouldn't happen. Bang.
They want to do boxing one first, and one of the reasons is Tyson.
So Tyson don't get his legs broke.
Yeah, but Tyson's going to want to put it on him first in a boxing ring, try and make him look a bit daft, give him some stick, and at least if there is a second one, hope that Ngannou is going to not want to go too close to him. But what will happen if there is a second one? Ngannou won't go that close to him. He'll just take his legs from under him, and within the first minute of the first round, Tyson Fury will be tapping out if he's not choked out. Simple as that. It's as simple as that. And listen. You know this. As a boxer, I think Tyson Fury is a man. I love his boxing to bits. I think he's awesome. So that's not a criticism about his boxing or anything like that. I think he's unbelievable, an unbelievable boxer. But I'm not interested in this cross-discipline stuff. I'm not interested in it being a game changer. We can write the script now. So, listen, it might generate some interest globally, but it's not going to generate any interest in boxing fans. But are they bothered about that?
No.
You
got all belts now, just don't add them all at once.
Correct.
So, do you see Bricktop on back foot for the first time in a long, well, probably ever, as regards one of his fighters dictating?
Yeah, because you've said it all on before we've spoken about it, or we've spoken to the people on your channel. All fighters have got that power. All fighters have got that power.
They have now.
Once you reach a certain level, where promoters have always been able to manipulate, is they've been able to say to them, "Look, mate, you can do what you want, fella. You're in charge. But if you want to make some money and extend your career, you've got to be protected, or you've got to take my advice on this fight and that fight." Yeah. Now they just say, "I'll do what I want. You work for me," especially people like Tyson Fury. So he hasn't got as much power as that as he used to have. And he's not his sole promoter, because obviously Aaron's his promoter in the States. Yeah. And I don't know how many more fights he's got on his deal.
Well, it's all shrouded in mystery, this, isn't it, at the moment? But they keep wheeling Bricktop out to water down all their mistakes. And it's looking to me like he's like some Joey for them now, isn't it? Cleaning up their mess.
Well, I was right now, 70, 71.
72, isn't it?
72. Listen, again, I don't want to repeat what you've been saying. Who else has he got? How much long left has he got in game? I know he wants to carry on for his son's carry on business, but who else have they got bringing revenue into?
Well, Yard's not a big revenue draw, is he? He'd have to be a away fighter, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Well,
and all them Dennis McCann and Archie Sharp and all that, they're all young kids, aren't they?
And like to wait, Dennis McCann's got a bright future.
Very bright.
Very bright. But and he's got the personality, hasn't he, to be somebody.
But he's not ready yet.
He's not ready yet. So So other than Tyson, who's Queensbury got pulling in the dough in?
Joe Joyce is knocking on.
Knocking on, yeah. So yeah, they got Dubai, they got Joyce, but
The second tier, aren't they?
second tier, I like Joe, and I'm hoping Joe's going to win. So he give me a Julian a bit of stick the other day.
What?
I was like, go on, Porky.
About what?
I heard Julian and Richard talking about Joyce, you know, fair play to him and all that. I've got to think about it.
Yeah, I have got to think about it, and he ain't got really anywhere else to go, has he? Really? And if you don't check this back, how can they bring him back in Mark time fights when he's pushing ages pushing?
I wasn't saying it was refreshing that he took the rematch. I was saying it was refreshing how he said the last fight he got beat fair and square.
Oh yeah, oh, sorry.
No, but I'm going go on, folks. I got it in full flow.
I got it. Yeah, well, this is how I look at it, right? Joe Joyce, it's a big fight, and if he wins it, he's WBO interim champion. But I heard yesterday that if he wins, they're going to have a trilogy.
Oh.
So we're just going round in circles, aren't we? What does everybody have to have a trilogy? Why AJ? That's a trilogy if you can't amateur. Tyson Wilder. Why can't others fight each other? Because once you fought somebody once, you know what to expect. We're just going round in circles. So Joe Joyce, you had nowhere else to go except to take Zhang fight. You had to do. If you didn't, I would tell you you're a bottleless. But you took it, so well done. But he didn't. He couldn't really go anywhere else.
No, I was talking about refreshing.
Yeah. Hey, listen, he took it on chin, didn't he? Yeah. He gave the bar stick, and he got his medicine, and that's what happened. Yeah. And we all come a cropper, don't we? But if Joe Joyce beats Zhang and they fight a third time, can we even get behind that? But it depends how good the second fight is, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think I tell you what, if he beats him and he beats him well, it'll be an absolute brilliant performance, won't it? But I kind of I've got a bad feeling that it's going to go the same way.
I have. Tony Bellew, the Bell End, is come out and he said, "Listen, people keep going on about the fact that I'm disappeared or I'm reappearing and whatever. I am here to effing earn. I'm an earner. If I want to come back at Bridgeweight, I will. But Tony, there's only the WBC recognising Bridgeweight, so you wouldn't really be a world champion, would you, if you got that belt? Because no other organisation recognises it. It's a bit like the IBA, is it? Or IBC doing a light cruiserweight back in the day. Nobody ever says, oh, so-and-so won a belt at light cruiserweight, because it's a division that nobody recognises. So, Tony, don't do it at Bridgeweight, do it at heavyweight, because I want to see you get put into Planet Orbit again. Real want Usyk, in my opinion, at heavyweight. That's what I think he wants, Tony. That's what I think is going to come out in the next few months.
Now, listen, has he got right to earn money? Of course he has.
Of course he has.
Of course he has.
He's 41 though in November and 5-year hard at ring.
Crack on and earn some money. Crack on and earn some money. But don't go on social media when you're getting ready to retire and when you're talking to Coogan. You could find loads of clips on here saying, you probably played them before. I am going to not be here. You will see me ride off into the sunset. You'll not interview me again. Blah, blah, blah. Look, we all contradict ourselves. Everybody. I do it, you do it, everybody does it. It's just life. But when you're making a point about your integrity and you'll not see me for dust and people come back, they go too long. You keep telling Chisora, my mate, to retire. You passed it. You know, you've done great for sport. But he's 40, 41, and he wants to come back. And he just sees an opportunity of getting a title because he's done great someday at a certain level. And the reason that is because a lot of these Bridgeweights can't make it at cruiserweight. They can't make it at heavyweight. So they're going to be stuck in between.
In between us.
In between us, yeah.
Does he beat Dylan White in a fight? Could they create some fake beef there? Him and Eduardo Hills, the Iceman, 6-0.
Well, I'm telling you, White is on the slide. He KO's Bellew.
Yeah.
In my opinion. He's too light for him. And it's too physical for him. So White's too physical for Bellew, and Bellew's too light for White, in my opinion.
It'd be interesting. Do you know what I think it'd have been a good fight back in the day?
Do you think the other way around? Do you think Bellew? You're looking like you think Bellew would do it.
I think Tony Bellew was technically 10 times better than Dylan White. I'm not a Tony Bellew fan, but he's got a world class left hook, but so has Dylan White. I'm not a Bellew fan, but he is technically better.
You're asking me whether he does him now. I'm not talking about
I
5
think
years
no,
ago.
I don't think he does him now. I think 5 year out at ring, you become Carl Props says you become civilised.
Yeah.
He says you wouldn't be able to hold the body shot 5 year out at ring. Ricky Hatton couldn't, could he, when he was out 3 years, when it was a couple 2 3 years.
Yeah.
You won't be able to. The average man won't be able to hold the body shot off an elite fighter or
No.
a big puncher.
No. So at 40, 41, could he
No.
fight White now as an active fighter?
He got obliterated, but I think he's technically better than him.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. But I think Tony McBellew was at his time. If he came back, it would be for pound notes. It'd be a circus, and they would create it. They'd be doing mad stuff on IFL and DAZN wanted to sell fight.
It's a bit like Bellew and A. And he's admitted himself. Would he have beat A 6, 7 years before?
No.
No, he wouldn't do.
Well, David A was a Twitch fighter, but there were no Twitch when he fought him, whether he were gone money.
No, Twitch and full of injuries. He was knackered. Absolutely knackered.
You know what I mean? Froch once told me a story about sparring David A at Crystal Palace. He were middleweight, 165. A were, he might have been light heavy or maybe a touch heavier. He says, you might know that conky. He goes, Carl, you don't mind me saying this to you, but we're like that, White. He says, he hit him on the end of his nose. He says, and I thought, he give a right whack on it. But he can punch, David A.
Yeah.
He can punch. But if you can spar them heavier guys, like Froch sparred Bellew, didn't he?
Yeah.
In his day, an heavier man coming to the back end of his career.
Yeah.
If you can take punches off heavy guys, it gives you confidence, doesn't it?
Of course
When
he
you're
does.
within your
And
weight.
sparring, you know, I've heard old stories. I've heard Bellew tell a story about him and Price when they sparred A and they both turned him on his head. Maybe that was the case. Maybe that was the case.
Well, they were bigger than him, weren't they?
At the time, yeah. And also, but David A might have been on last night before. Next week, it might be the other way around. You know what I mean? It's sparring.
But I'd have liked to have seen Tony Bellew and Froch get at it 172. When they were both, you know, when he were a light heavy, Froch were a superman. Let him have it at 172. But that might have been just that few more £2 for Bellew. Too much because he was struggling at light heavy, didn't he?
Yeah, he was absolutely. I mean, again, brave to boil yourself down to that level to get some money to people.
When you're an ABA type champion, 3 year on shot at heavyweight.
Yeah.
I mean, what were you doing? Who were advising him?
Yeah, he just looked like he was death warmed up.
Craziness. The Gad.
What about him?
He's still about. Watch out. The Gad is about. He's still on the scene.
I saw him chasing after Clarissa Shields for a couple of days.
Did he tell her she had powerful legs?
No, I think he were, but I couldn't read his lips.
Did she have a phoenix rising? Hey, the Gad.
Take your laptop back.
We know about some of your habits, Gad, at night. You are one of the boys, but once you've had too much of that, mate, you should go to bed. You shouldn't go out on the prowl in Vegas, you naughty boy. Crusher Ben has changed his story now, so we've got 4 different stories in 9 months. Do you think he should have just gone like that, like Amir Khan, took it on chin at the beginning? Because he's $500,000 deep now in legal fees, they're all saying.
Yeah, do I think he should have owned up to it? Definitely. What other option have you got?
Do you feel, Richard, that Crusher's been thrown on that bus because Dr. Husband went missing on October the 7th, didn't he? Nobody's seen him since. The guy who it looks like were involved behind the scenes with eat this, drink this, take that. Who gave him something? There's nobody's names have been mentioned. These people have got to be thrown under the bus. I'd be all for Conor Ben getting no ban if you put the lot of them in. That's what I'd be up for. I want to know who's giving it. That's what I want to know. What do you think? They're not going to do that though.
Do you want me to really tell you what I think? Because I've got no evidence about any of it. What I think is I think it's rife. Have I got any evidence of that? No. But I think it's rife. Do I think everybody's doing it? No. But there's millions more, not million people in boxing. There's so many more people are doing it than are getting caught. It's rife. So people need exposing because I'm sounding like Tony Bellew now.
Stone him in the streets.
But mate, somebody's going to get hurt because it absolutely strengthens you and it absolutely makes you more powerful than you are. And it could end up with somebody getting seriously hurt as a result of PEDs. That's as simple as that, especially when people are boiling down to weight and people are bulking up, you know, to be able to come up and match him for power. it's going to end up in tears. So, is he being thrown under the bus on his own? I don't know, maybe. He's responsible for what he takes inside himself. He's responsible for being honest once it's happened, holding his hands up. So, he's going to get the results of it. He's going to be laughing all the way to the bank if he start fighting in Saudi with you bank for 10 million each. Is he going to be bothered now?
No, he isn't, no.
No. So, that's what I think. I think it's right. That's it.
Yeah, I think that's about it really. Max is out July 21st in Malta on a Dennis and Stephen Vaughan show.
Well, we've got some tickets for that.
I'm not going to that.
I'm in Germany, I'm only joking.
I've offered Max well, I offered it, I'll put it on the channel. Max, if you win, I'm going to give you that leather for that company that sponsor me no more. You know, the red one. I don't know if it'll fit you, Max. I've had it cut down.
I hope Max wins. I hope he wins. Good on him.
I know he gets his head down and gets in some sort of shape.
Yeah, I hope he wins and hopefully he's being.
Don't mess everybody about. That's all. What's best for him? We don't want to be messed about.
Is his opponent going to have a winning record?
No.
Is he going to have a record that's 5-5 and 3-3?
Well, if it is, they better send the body bag out. We wish Max all the best. Listen, he dreamt about being a boxer. Look, it's the hardest sporting world. You know, when I went over to Nick Manners' gym, there's Nick Manners and Colin there, and basically Max was on the floor, and Colin was setting about him with medicine ball. Max had kept bringing his knees up to his belly. You know, like when you got a stomach ache, you do it in bed at home, don't you? And I was looking at Max there, and they were putting him through rinser, and Max was like just in an heap on the floor, all red faced and bless him. And me and Julian were there, and I thought, it's an hard game, this boxing game. He'd just been in with that young Torrance. Yeah. And when we got in car, I said, "You all right, Max?" He went, "He was like Mike Tyson." The non-bouncer Max. He couldn't fight this morning.
That's not
they put it well, we had to take the proper sparring off, didn't we, and change it a little bit to protect Max. But when Max got in with him, I saw him warming up and I thought, oh, here we go. And I was like on the inside one with Julian, and Max got in there, and this kid was like 13 stone, about 5'11". He was like Yard, he looked like an Anthony Yard, 17-year-old. Anyway, after 5 seconds, Max was at it with him 2 minutes, but this kid was like bang on. And Nick Manners has taught this kid how to punch properly. And it's an hard sport, and I thought, do you know what, Max? Why would you want to put yourself through this? He's not short of dough. He's got an house paid for, a nice car, a few quid, but he wants to be a boxer, doesn't it? But it's the hardest sport in the world, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And the thing about it as well, it's not just an hard sport. It don't mean to say that the guy who's putting it on you is any more tougher than you, just because their skills are way beyond yours. It's a boxing, it's a sweet science. If they've got more skills than you, and listen, I've had a little tiny taste of it. It's a very tight crap level sparring gym. Dave Allen's dad buzzed me, and he was a light welterweight many years ago at Mexbury Boys Club, because he got better skills. As soon as he buzzed me on the chin, and he wrapped neck like that, he weren't going to hit me again. So there's nothing wrong with understanding that it don't matter how tough you are. If somebody's got better skills and they're going to keep bashing you in your face, you're going to end up getting hurt, aren't you? Simple as that.
Yeah, it's a bit like when they put Frotchin with Brian McGee, they said the Southpaw Olympian has got skills and that, and we all saw what happens. Sometimes the will is greater than the skill, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes, but I think we're talking about different levels. We can't talk about Max and Frotchin the same breath.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, don't you? Yeah. It's you got to bite down on your gun shield and tough it out. You have to go to places like Clinton always used to say. Do you know what? Sometimes when you're losing a fight and you're getting it and it, you just have to keep going, and it change the landscape changes. A bit like Crawford Ashley. When he fought Crawford set about him, didn't he, for a few rounds and busted him up his nose and his face for a bit of a mess, wasn't it? But as the rounds were going on, I said to Clinton, how did you feel? He said, well, as the rounds were going on, his power was waning.
Yeah, well, you know, I think I've told you many times, I followed with Clinton quite a lot. I've watched him fight in Sheffield, Pinegrove and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so. But old school, back in the day when they first started out at Pinegrove with Big Rob.
I watched him when with Roger, his trainer.
Big Roger,
Roger,
are you sure?
I'm absolutely positive.
Oh, he might have been in corner.
It might be cool, it might be passing up, I don't know, but I think he was his trainer. But you might be right, it might have just been passing up, but he worked.
He trained him at the very end, I think. But he might have been in corner because it's a close
well,
part.
he won
Because he had Porky, didn't he?
central area then, Pineborough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there were no English title then in them days, were there?
No, we're ringside for that part.
Yeah. And do you know what?
Cost me 3 and 6pence. That's how long ago.
Yeah. Clinton, you were so proud of that area belt, weren't you, Clinton? Because he didn't think he could go above that, and look what he ended up doing.
Listen, he's a Wednesday night, and I'm a United night, so if I were following him, he must have been close to me. Right.
Well, listen, thanks for coming on, pal.
Pleasure, mate.
I hope everybody's enjoyed the video. We like to have a bit of a catch up. He's my pal, he just lives near me. So I hope everybody's all right. Have a great Monday, and we'll get this out straight away. Hot, hot bang. Peace out.